All right, guys. Today we are going to be reacting to Trump announced new proposal: no tax on overtime. Let's jump in.
Today, I'm also announcing that as part of our additional tax cuts, we will end all taxes on overtime.
Wow.
You know what that means? Think of that. Think of that.
Wow.
Think of that. That gives people more of an incentive to work. It gives the companies it's a lot easier to get the people. And you know, I went to some economists, great ones, and I said, what do you think? They said, it would be unbelievable. You'll get a whole new workforce by doing that. No taxes on overtime. The people who work overtime are among the hardest working citizens in our country. And for too long, no one in Washington has been looking out for them. Those are the people. They really work. They're police officers, nurses, factory workers, construction workers, truck drivers, and machine operators. It's time for the working man and woman to finally catch a break, and that's what we're doing because this is a good one. And I think it's going to be great for the country. So that's why we will be saying that if you're an overtime worker, when you're past 40 hours a week, think of that. Your overtime hours will be tax-free. Okay, good. You're gonna
Wow. With that, Trump is literally just creating a monster as an economy. He's trying to make sure that when he gets in power, all this creates a huge boom into our economy because we need to work, right? We need more people working. But we need to drive taxes down, and that way they can spend all that money into the economy. And that's what is going on. That's a great idea.
And unlike Biden, where he tells you that you don't have to pay your school tuition, and he gets rejected, then he goes again and again. Now it's totally gone, or as they say in politics, it's debunked. It's gone. That was terrible. You know, he kept saying to these students, "No more loans, no more loans." Which was very unfair to the millions of people that actually paid off their loans
very
over the
bad.
years. Some of them took 20 years to pay them off, but that's a dead deal. That's totally dead. You know, they tried to revive it 2 weeks ago. That didn't work out too well. That's a totally dead deal. But these will be three things that will get
It's like the federal government paying his old debt. Oh yeah, because that works, right? That works very nice.
done. So if you think about no tax on tips, think of that. Think about this. And the Social Security for our seniors, because the seniors have been destroyed by inflation. It's unfair. And this is like a whole new life for them because you're talking about a lot of money. So no tax on Social Securities for our great seniors. And this last one is no tax. You work your ass off, no tax on overtime. And that's so good for the employers. One of our economists said, I think that's actually going to bring money into our economy. You know, when I cut taxes, we had the largest tax cut in history. And when I cut taxes with a much lower rate the following year, we took in more money than we ever took in with a much higher rate. People, the jobs, people work.
Yeah, because people have more confidence in the economy, so they can spend more money. It's so simple. If that passed, I will volunteer for overtime rather than avoiding it. Yeah, you know what's crazy? Yeah. And I agree. In my company, and not my company, but where I work, it's crazy because they want a lot of people to work overtime. The thing is that you work overtime, and they just take everything from overtime. Thank you, baby. They take everything, so it's not even worth it to work overtime. The taxes are very high; they're in a different rate, so it's just not even working. As someone who worked 15 hours a week overtime, this will actually change my life. What? 15 hours a week? What? Overtime. Oh, yeah. That will actually change. Yeah, that means that half of your check that is already gone is gonna be on your pocket. No taxes on overtime, tips, and Social Security will be a huge boost for hardworking Americans, senior citizens, and fixed income. It's the right thing to do. Yeah, it's the right thing to do. A lot of Republicans, they say, and libertarians, Social Security is gonna crash. What about not crashing Social Security and just give back to those people that put into the system? How is it that you put $1 into the system and the federal government's taking between 12 to 15% of that dollar? Somehow you are the one that, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's so unfair. If this, okay, that's actually crazy. This is the biggest and best policy that has been announced for so far leading up to this election. Yeah, it's a great policy. This is brilliant. I kept saying this to everybody at work, that overtime shouldn't be taxed, especially if you're forced to work overtime. Yeah. No taxes on overtime will be a miracle for my financial institution. Yep. As a union worker who regularly has to do forced overtime, which the government taxes heavily. The government, yeah, they tax. I fully support this. This is crazy. When first they told me about it, I was like, no way, man. And then I checked, it was true. But the way the government, state and federal, they tax you the hell out of it. As a nurse, I will work double. The amount you get taxed for working more actually disincentivizes you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I stopped working overtime because of the same reason. I stopped working overtime the same reason. It's not worth it. No tax on overtime will bring more discretionary income to the consumer, which will translate into more buying power, more manufacturing, and more job. It's genius, yeah. Now that's an economic stimulus idea, yeah. Instead of putting money, instead of the government keep printing money, it's more like, okay, we just need more workforce, more workers, things to get done. Let me see. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of news, man. I'm telling you. It's crazy. It took an audience 10 seconds for the idea to sink in. Yeah. You know, that's crazy because they cannot believe it. Usually that's not even the case.
School tuition, and it gets... They're police officers.
Let me see. Let me see.
Tax cuts. We will end all taxes on overtime. You know what that means?
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. I didn't realize that. But there was a small silence because they cannot believe it. It's like, man, you cannot believe it. When Trump says like things like this, you can't believe it. But at the same time, you're like, you know he's going to make it. You know he's going to do it. It's crazy. Oh, man, there's so much thing going on. There's just hard to keep up. But we're going to keep up. Make sure you like to subscribe, guys. And just let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll see you in the next one.